Who are you?
I hardly know, sir, at present. At least I knew who I was when I got up this morning, but I think I must have changed several times since then.
What do you mean by that? Explain yourself.
I can't explain myself, I'm afraid, sir, because I'm not myself, you see.
I do not see.
I'm afraid that I can't put it more clearly. I can't understand myself to begin with. Being so many different sizes in one day is confusing.
It isn't.
Well, perhaps you haven't found it so yet, but I'm sure when you turn into a chrysalis, you will someday, you know. And then after that into a butterfly, I should think you'll feel a little bit queer, won't you?
Not a bit.
Well, perhaps your feelings may be different. All I know is it would certainly feel very queer to me.
You? Who are you?
I'd like to know who you are first.
Why? Wait! Come back! I have something important to say! Keep your temper.
Is that all?
No. So you think you're changed, do you?
I'm afraid I am, sir. I can't remember things as I used, and I don't keep the same size for 10 minutes together.
Can't remember what things?
Well, I've tried to decide how doth the busy bee, but it all came out different.
Recite your old Father William.
You are old, Father William, the young man said, and your hair has become very white, and yet you insistently stand on your head. Do you think at your age it is right? In my youth, Father William replied to his son, I feared it must enter the brain. But now that I'm perfectly sure I have none, why I do it again and again. You are old, said the youth, as I mentioned before, and you have grown most uncommonly fat. Yet you turned a back somersault in at the door. Pray, what is the reason for that? In my youth, said the sage, as he shook his grey locks, I kept all my limbs very supple. By the use of this ointment, 1 shilling a box, allow me to sell you a couple? Old, said the youth, and your jaws are too weak for anything other than suet, yet you finished the goose with the bones in the beak. Pray, how did you manage to do it? In my youth, said his father, I took to the law and argued each case with my wife, and the muscular strength which it gave to my jaw has lasted the rest of my life. You are old, said the youth, one would hardly suppose that your eye was as steady as ever, yet you balanced an eel on the end of your nose. What made you so awfully clever? I have answered 3 questions, and that is enough, said his father. Don't give yourself airs. Do you think I can listen all day to such stuff? Be off, or I'll kick you downstairs.
That is not said right.
Not quite right, I'm afraid. Some of the words got altered.
It is wrong from beginning to end. What size do you want to be?
I'm not particular to size. Well, only one doesn't like changing too often, you know?
Don't know. Are you content now?
Well, I should like to be a little larger, sir, if you wouldn't mind. 3 inches is such a wretched height.
Sorry. That can be...
But I'm not used to it. Oh, I wish the creatures here weren't so easily offended.
A very good height indeed. And it just so happens that I am exactly 3 inches in height. One side will make you grow taller, and one side will make you grow smaller.
One side of what? The other side of what?
The mushroom, of course.
Now, which is which? What can all that green stuff be? And where have my shoulders gone? And oh, my poor hands, why is it I can't see you? Serpent! I'm not a serpent, let me alone!
Serpent! I say again, I've tried every way, but nothing seems to suit them.
I haven't the least idea what you're talking about. I'm very sorry you've been annoyed. But I'm not a serpent, I tell you. I'm a little girl.
A likely story indeed. I've seen a good many little girls in my time, but never with with a neck like that. You're a serpent, and there's no use denying it. I suppose you'll be telling me next that you've never tasted an egg.
I have tasted eggs, certainly. But little girls eat eggs quite as often as serpents do, you know.
I don't believe it, but if they do, why, then they're a kind of serpent. That's all I can say. You're looking for eggs, I know that well enough. And what does it matter to me whether you're a little girl or a serpent?
It matters a good deal to me, but I'm not looking for eggs as it happens. And if I was, I would certainly not want them from you. I don't like them raw.
Well, be off then!